So how the season works is pretty much every week there are Tuesday meets, there are invitationals on Saturday. A lot of teams don't take the Tuesday meets as seriously. You'll just tempo or not run your top guys. Once Saturday meets, you're kind of going for a good race, good time, and whatnot. And then you get to the last Saturday of October where you have the divisional meet, Division I championships. All 19 teams will put their top 7 on the line, and the top 8 will go through to MLCs.
Yep. Also, top 25 individuals overall. So even if you're on a team that didn't qualify in the top 8, those individuals would go as well to MLCs.
And then after that, next week is the Meet of Champions, where you take the top teams from Division I, Division II, Division III, top individuals overall, and they'll fight it out for the top 6 spots to go to New England's and the top 25 individual spots. And then after that, of course, is the New England Championships with 5 states, not including Massachusetts.
Yep. Last year, New England's Bishop Gurdon was again the top team. I believe Pinkerton was second. Sort of an off year for New Hampshire running at New England's. I think there was a big problem. Most teams didn't really recognize the course. They didn't get out as quick as they wanted to, and that eventually hurt us in the long run.
It was tough being past your peak, too.
Yeah.
My peak was definitely for MLCs last
year.
Yeah,
I know a lot of runners really sort of trailed off at the end of the season after everyone really sort of wanted to peak around D1s, MLCs last year, and that really happens. Those are the meets that matter for New Hampshire, but. Yeah.
And just a quick briefing, I'm Aaron Bellomo. I'm theoretically Alvaren's number 1, Rob Desisto, theoretically BG's number 2, and we'll get going. So the first team we're going to preview is Winnacunnet.
Yeah, you're looking at Winnacunnet. They always have talent, maybe it seems to me. They finally put it together their senior year. I know Seamus Cullinane, I think, would you consider him their 1 right now? Justin Trott.
On a hilly course, I would consider Justin Trott their 1. On a flat course, I'd consider Matt Guerin or Seamus Cullinane.
Yeah.
But they have a very solid 3 up top. They theoretically could have 3 guys in the top 10, and that'd be pretty hard to beat at D1s.
Yeah, this is a team that's probably, on paper, has the most talent coming back.
I don't know what their 4 or 5 look like, but their 1 through 3 are really solid.
Yeah, this is a team that will win by front runners, I'd say. You're looking at
front runners opposed to depth.
Yep, you're looking at Trott.
Justin Trott is the number 4 returner. He was right with me last year at D1s. He ran 16:43, I believe, on Derryfield as a sophomore. He also was right around 10 flat in the 2 mile. He'll probably be the number 1 at D1s, and then after that, it'll be up to Cullinane and Guerin.
Yeah, this is a kid that really looks to focus. When it gets up on distance, he's going to be better. Should consider for top 5, I'd say.
Who?
Justin Trott.
I'd throw him in the top 5
throw him in the
conversation.
top 5. But that's Winnacunnet.
It looks like it should be Winnacunnet's year, too.
Yeah, no. Again, we obviously said that for Londonderry last year, and they performed excellent at D1s.
Just for the record, in November, I actually picked Winnacunnet to win it for this year. Yeah. And it looks like it's theirs to lose at this time. Next team we're going to preview Pinkerton, the long red line. They look like they lose a couple big names in Langevin and Anzavino, but just with this team, it's almost ridiculous how they can replenish and just bring in quality runner after quality runner after quality runner.
Absolutely. High school is absolutely ridiculous, 3,200, I believe. So they can just keep bringing. They have a stable of JV kids that can really step up into their varsity.
Probably the only New Hampshire team who has cuts for their varsity, for their overall squad, actually.
Yeah.
If you're not running 23 minutes, I believe, you're not even on the team.
Yeah. Now, the thing with Pinkerton, very interesting. I don't think they've won D1s since 1996. It's something ridiculous. It's late 90s.
And they always seem like they have the team, but there's
yeah.
always someone who seems to be better come D1s.
Yeah, they always have the talent. And just looking at this team, Chris Poggi, to me, he's their top returner.
Phenomenal 800 runner.
Yeah, great 800 runner. Won our D1 states last year. Chris Poggi, I look at Chris Poggi, I see a kid that really is going to excel on a flat course. I don't know what
like Mines Falls, he might be tough to beat even for some of the higher mileage
guys.
MLCs
would be tough. They're led by him. Sean Kopetz is another quality.
And Patrick Chabot, he did not run, or he did run cross country last year, but I believe he was injured. He also could be a top 10.
Yep.
They have 3 in the top 10.
Yep.
They're very tough to beat.
Yep. I could really see them putting 3 under 1630 up at Derryfield, which is what you need to do.
I would agree with that.
If you're going to win D1s, I'd say.
And then they have guys, maybe Joe Poggi, maybe Connor Quaisian, who can back it up with a 4.5.
Yeah.
They could be the team to beat.
Yeah, they really got a lot of 800 runners coming up distance, and we saw that with Ken Horsley last year. That could be a successful strategy if they hit the mileage.
It doesn't always work in college when you're trying to go 800 to 8K, but 800 to 5K is definitely more realistic.
Yeah.
So I think Pinkerton, they're right up there with Winnacunnet as possibly a dual favorite to win it this year. Next team we're going to preview Bedford. They're new to Division I, but they bring in 5 returners who have all run 17 minutes in the 17s or faster as juniors or sophomores. They're usually led by Michael D., Tristan Winship, and then they have Sam Dowley, who ran 16:01 on Mines Falls as a sophomore. He's been injured since. If they could be the deepest team in D1.
Yeah, they're really deep. First, welcome to Bedford, to D1s. Nice to finally see them in here. But this is a very deep team. This is what Londonderry was last year in terms of depth. Really, not a lot of frontrunners, but you're looking at cross country, you're looking for teams that are bunched together. These kids are all going to be able to work off each other.
Kind of like a Souhegan in D2.
Yeah, sort of like a Souhegan in D2. And they could turn some heads at D1s. You know, people see Bedford up in the top 5 for teams.
I have them in the top 3.
Yeah.
And Pinkerton and Winnicott, say they get a guy injured, say they don't perform as well as they could, maybe Bedford pulls it out.
It's
kind of embarrassing the D1 for a new D2 team to do this all, but
I mean, we've seen bigger shocks. I think it just you don't know really when it comes to D1s.
You never
see
know.
A lot of stuff that happens, but.
All right, next team we're going to preview Bishop Girton. We'll have kind of Rob take this one away.
Yeah, well, Bishop Girton, as I said before, graduates for the top 5 from last year. The team of Chris Cogliano, Brandon Latham, Ken Horsley, and Dave Perella really led New Hampshire last year. They were the top team at CMI. They were the D1 and MOC champion, top team at New England's. Losing a lot, though. Griffin Gagnon is the top returner for the individual crown. He's going to compete with Aaron and BJ for the individual title. And you're looking at Bishop Girton. They've done this before. They've taken good talent and turned it into a great talent with a team. They graduated one year. They graduated Francis Hernandez, Trent Fontanella, Joey Jourdain, all in the same year. Those are 3 kids that were sub 930 in the 2 mile. And next year they turned it around and just came in second at Division 1s. So they have the talent to contend. Now, if their kids, you know, I've seen the kids over the summer. If we put in our mileage, we can contend for the title. But we have an uphill climb to get there.
Do you think you're deep enough? Obviously, Griffin's a good runner. You'll be a solid 2. Tyler might be a good 3 after that.
We should conceivably put 3 under 16:45. I don't know if that's going to do it this year in terms of winning D1s. But the freshman that we're bringing in, we have a kid that's around 4:48 for the mile. So if we can develop those kids into the top 5, we should be up there. I'm not going to
Not expecting a state title.
Not expecting
top 5.
Yeah. BG has won the state title for the past 5 years, so Coach Hunt really knows what he's doing there. But it's an uphill battle this year for us.
All right, and we'll take it away with Keene. They're a team, as Brandon Latham always describes them, they're always in the hunt, never fantastic, but they seem like they're going to meet champions almost every year. They actually did finish 9th last year. They returned 2 158 800 runners in Dan D'Amato and Cody Fry. After that, I really have no clue what they have for talent. But they'll probably be in the mix for an MLC spot, but not for the team title.
Yeah, I second what he said.
They're also the only team that doesn't run Manchester Invite usually, so you really never know what you're going to get with them.
Yeah, this is a tough team just based on where they are. Oftentimes they don't perform as well in meets just because of the just horrible drive out.
And they haven't seen the course. They don't know what they're going up against. They don't get to race a lot of D1 teams during the season.
Yeah, D'Amato's very good. Dan D'Amato is a quality.
I always passed him on the final 100 meters in cross country last year.
Yeah, I mean he's a quality runner, mainly stuck to the 800 outdoors, but also a good miler as well. So I don't really know with Keene. I mean they can either really surprise you, get top 5, or they can really
they might not have anything 3 through 5, and they could be out of the MOC.
Yeah, I mean who knows.
All right, Salem, they graduate Ben Dutton. He'll be running for the University of New Hampshire. They still have Joe Satenery, who is kind of a freshman sensation this year. They still have Mitch Dutton, who's a lot better in cross-country than he is in track. Maybe an MOC appearance.
Yeah.
They did sneak it in last year when no one expected it.
Yeah, at best, this team really needs to time where they're going to peak well, because if they can get a big home run out of Satenery,
Would you say Sednary in the top 10? Is that going
yeah,
too far?
I wouldn't say too far. If he as I said, if he peaks at the right time, he really did not peak well at outdoors.
Well, he did run the 2 mile every single race.
He ran every single race, and I remember watching him at MOCs, just
not pretty.
10:26, and it was an ugly 10:26. But he has a lot of talent. As distance goes up, he gets better. But I mean, I don't know. MOCs, maybe.
Maybe a top 25, maybe an individual qualifier for him. I wouldn't put him out of the picture. He has loads of talent. All right, we're going to talk about Londonderry. This is an interesting one.
Yeah.
They graduate 6 of their top 7. The only one left is Josh Leahy. He was over 18 minutes at D1. He did run 4:38 in the mile, I believe. They have the best JV team in the state, best middle school team in the state every year. But can you turn these pretty decent JV runners who run 17s on mines into a good varsity team?
Yeah. This is a weird... 2 kids under 440 for the mile is basically all they really have. Damon Kilgore and Josh Leahy. They have Grant McAuliffe. He's another JV runner. I think I believe he was second.
He was 17:07 at JV States. He won JV States individually. That's realistically only maybe a 17:40 on Dairyfield.
Yeah. So I really do not know about this Londonderry team. This is the equivalent of a shotgun blast to the chest for them. Just not a lot of talent coming back. They need to cultivate something from the younger ranks.
They could have a really young team this year, and maybe, I don't know, maybe they can do it. All right, we're going to talk about the Alvern team next. That's my home team. We're going to bring in Phil Demers to give us our number 2 runner, to give us a little preview of what he's thinking in terms of what the team can do this year. It might be a wild ride, but thank you, Phil, for coming in today.
All right, glad to be here. Thank you.
All right, so Phil, you say there have been some guys who really put in the work in over the summer, some guys who really haven't.
Yeah.
Where do you see the team finishing this year? Could this be the first time Alvern ever qualifies for Media Champs?
In a range, probably 6 to 12.
6 to 12?
At D1s. So, I don't know. It depends on how much our team trains, you know. We got to really put in the work. I mean, we have guys that can do the talent, but I mean, you know, they haven't been training as much as we expect, so.
Do you think you're going to have to win off of depth? Or are you going to have to win off front?
It'd probably be more of a me around 16 flat, Phil at like 1640, and then we need that 3 through 5
just
at
like
1730.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the only way we can do it, is if that 3 through 5 can get group up and get there at 1730.
I agree.
I think another thing that'll help you guys, it often helps middle of the pack teams. If you guys get cruddy conditions at Dairyfield, slows everyone's time down, I think that would really benefit
We have a couple kids that do love those kind of races that are kind of ugly conditions, so we'll see, you know. Just hope for the best.
We have a couple guys returning who is freshmen. They were right in the 18 flat range at Dairyfield, so hopefully 1730.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Thank you for coming in, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
All right, so now we're going to talk about Merrimack. They might be done. They've made the Media Champions every year since 2003, maybe even further on than that, as far as Lancer goes, I believe. They lose Jack Conlon.